Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show. Well, welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show, everybody.
The crazy cat people are back.
We're back. This is what we're excited about. As you know, we put our cat Punky down back in July, and we finally just decided it was time for cats.
Well, Heidi here made the mistake of looking.
She did it. I didn't.
Yeah, well,
cave.
yeah, but I did. You were just biding your time, Mr. Benjamin.
That's how it always works with me. You know
I
that.
made the mistake of looking at the SPCA website, and it was all over. So
yeah, and then we visited the SPCA, and this little guy.
This is Maestro.
This is Maestro, and this is Raffy. You know, music works really well, but yeah, we're excited. We're both extreme. That's what we're excited about. This is great. We want to say a big thank you to our patrons who have been supporting us each month.
Some of you for a very long time.
I know.
And we are putting your contributions to work with music recording
gear, things that make this show better, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you. So yeah, excited about the cats. Also feeling my humanity with the cats because kittens, we haven't had kittens in like
almost 20 years.
20 years. So I forgot about the energy level. And so I have been
all
a
night
lot
long.
more
Go wait.
tired. Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely have a different schedule than I do.
Well, I have, I had the experience of wanting to adopt all the cats at the Humane Society. So, like, that part of my human self that loves animals I started feeling bad for every animal that we weren't taking, and it was so emotional.
But then I realized, wait a minute, if you become a cat hoarder, that's not good for the animal.
Yeah, yes, quite accurate. So.
Yeah.
We are going to talk today, though, not about cats. So you dog lovers and cat haters out there, rest assured.
We're not talking about that today.
We're not going to talk about cats the whole day. So we're going to talk about embarrassment.
Ooh,
yeah. And how it relates to our humanity and our creativity. And we only have a few
more of these for this
season. Less than a dozen. I know we've been doing this season for way too long.
It's been a long season.
So we're trying to hit 52 episodes, and then we are going to be next year. We won't tell you yet.
But we have an idea for next year.
Yeah, we have a plan.
I'm excited about it.
I mean, our plans haven't gone as planned for several years. Well, but we have a plan. Yeah. So we'll be wrapping up this topic soon.
That's right. All right. Well, we will get into it. Be thinking about what was the first time you ever experienced embarrassment. Think about a time. What does embarrassment feel like to you?
Well, I've never died before, but I'm pretty sure it feels like death.
Feels like death? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate being embarrassed. Oh, I hate it. But.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't know
if anyone does enjoy it, really.
No, I don't think it's my favorite thing to do is to be embarrassed.
I love to be embarrassed.
I love it. Yeah, I usually feel like a flushness in my cheeks when I get embarrassed. I feel extremely seen and not in a good way. Like it's that thing of like, oh, I noticed this thing about myself and everybody else has noticed it at the exact same time.
Now, I have been embarrassed alone before.
You've been embarrassed alone?
Yeah, embarrassed.
Tell me about
I'd
that.
have to think of a time, but it does happen. It does happen. I'll have to try to think of a time, but
Okay.
it's not infrequent.
Okay.
Oh, like I don't know. I think I've like apologized to an appliance before. I mean, you're like, why am I?
Please tell me which appliance you
I
apologize
don't know.
to.
I can't list to you all the times throughout my life because I'll be by myself alone. And I'll be like so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I'm the one. Well, haven't you ever like had your fly down or a button unbuttoned and you like realized it when you were like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I caught this like before someone pointed it out.
Well,
right?
yeah, all the time.
Well, okay then.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
okay, so it's not that hard to.
But I feel more relief. I don't feel embarrassed.
Well, but it's I don't
know. No.
But then I'll be
that's
thinking,
me, not you.
but what if someone saw it? What if I wasn't the only one to catch it? Or like things that I don't know. I don't know.
It's funny though, with things like that though, if I catch it like later, after I've been on stage for like a couple hours, and
You're
I'm
not
like,
embarrassed? No, are you
no,
serious?
I'm like, okay, well.
Doesn't it embarrass you?
I think the reality that it has hit me, and I know that's different for everybody, but it's like that happens to everybody.
I know, but that doesn't mean it's not embarrassing.
And I guess there's a difference between, hey, my zipper was unzipped versus I had clothing coming out of said zipper. That would feel a little bit more uncomfortable to me because then it's like, oh my gosh. But anyway. But I think that's a truth about embarrassment. It's different for everybody. There's things that embarrass me that don't embarrass you at all, and vice versa.
True.
Or vice versa. I don't know how to say that. As a kid, like, what would you say that there are things that embarrassed you as a kid that maybe don't embarrass you now?
I don't. I think as a kid, maybe I was more materialistic.
Okay.
Because it feels like when you're a kid, it's having, going, your clothes, your having stuff seems to kind of be like, if you don't have what all the other kids have,
gotcha.
like, oh, I didn't get to go like to the mall or to the school shopping when like everyone else was, or sometimes I couldn't watch certain movies or shows that all the other kids could. I couldn't have a Barbie. So those kind of things were embarrassing to me.
Didn't I buy you your
You
first
did.
Barbie
It's in the
when we were
garage, I
dating?
think. You sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Boyfriend points.
Thanks, Ken.
I still haven't seen the Barbie movie yet.
So good.
I know,
Oh,
I've
my
been missing
word.
out.
Loved it so much. Anyway.
You see, I'm trying to think. Okay, so I don't really remember. I know I got embarrassed as a kid, but I don't remember like specifically. I know the things that I would feel, some things. Okay, so obviously when people would call me fat growing up.
Well,
I would feel
that's not
embarrassed.
nice.
I would
That's
feel embarrassed.
really mean.
And it had long-term effects of, and maybe it didn't bother me, like it didn't stop me from being expressive as a kid. That's what it was. Okay, thank you. Thanks for helping me figure this out.
What did we figure out?
Okay, so when I've always been, I used to be pretty extroverted as a kid, pretty talkative.
Oh, yeah.
I had no problem having a very adult vocabulary as a 5th grader. And I had a group of guys that would pick apart every word. Anytime I would talk, they would make fun of me. They would, and eventually when I got into like middle school, I thought it would be cooler to not talk. And so I decided to just be quiet. And then what happened was I was so shy to speak up at that point. It was like the opposite extreme happened. I couldn't be expressive. And that when I think up until I was in probably junior, senior in high school, I dealt with that. So yeah. So that's what I think that those are some of the things that embarrassed me as a kid. I'm not embarrassed to talk now. I mean, maybe I should be sometimes, but no, I usually feel pretty okay. Well, unless I'm talking to teenagers. Because what happens when I talk to teenagers is that I realize that I'm not one anymore, and I'm reminded of that.
We haven't been teenagers in a very long time.
Very long time.
I still act like a child, but
Nah.
Yeah, one of the things that I get really embarrassed about now, or or as an adult is how loud I am, especially when I laugh. I didn't realize how loud I was, or specifically with my laugh till I was an adult, and then I became really self-conscious about it. So, and at this point, I've just accepted it.
I don't think you're as loud as you used to be, though, and I'm not meaning that like in the backhanded compliment kind of way.
No, but I know I've calmed down a little bit.
You've calmed down a lot.
I still think I laugh pretty loud, though.
You do, but the thing that I love, and I told you this, is I like it when you snort because it tells me that you think something is like legit funny.
Well, and I don't fake laugh. Mm-mm. I don't have a fake laugh.
You're not a courtesy laugher.
No, I apologize, and I just gave away one of my secrets, but I don't give courtesy laughs because I physically can't do it. My body just won't allow me to fake laugh. So if you hear me laughing,
congratulations. You're
there
funny.
You go. It's funny what I'm laughing at. So
if she doesn't laugh, don't feel ashamed.
Okay, here's the one thing.
It's just that you're not her audience. That's all.
I will say there's one exception. If someone says something super inappropriate or super I mean like they should not have said that. Sometimes I will laugh because I'm so caught off guard.
So you have it's like a defense mechanism.
It's a defense mechanism. And it's like my body goes into shock and is like, so that is the one, that's the one time. But it's not, but no, if someone tells a joke and I don't think it's funny, I won't go, oh.
But if they tell a joke that's horrendously offensive, you still might laugh.
So which one is it?
So you've either are funny or you have
You're either
appalled
hilarious
her.
or you have so offended me that I was stunned and my body's only option was to make that sound.
That's really hilarious.
So, wow. you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about as an adult what embarrasses me. Honestly, like not much. And let me.
Unless you're married to you.
No, I didn't mean to just whistle at you. I just did.
What am I? Am I an animal?
You should just laugh. That means I know I appalled you. There you go.
That wasn't my appalled laugh. That was funny.
That was a genuine laugh.
Funny.
Okay.
I didn't know you were whistling at me like an animal, like a dog.
So
we'll talk about that later.
What I get embarrassed, it's more of like, it's not making mistakes that embarrass me. It's people noticing the mistakes and telling me. That's when I get embarrassed.
Sorry.
So it's not like I can be singing and playing a show.
No.
Yeah, like that. And totally biff a note. And I'll feel bad about it. But then when someone like points it out.
Yeah, you really biffed that last chord.
Or someone
like
lets me know, or someone lets me know like something didn't sound right, then I will feel a little bit of embarrassment about that. Usually it's just from people I love, like if I
me.
well, no offense,
like me,
but no, like if yeah.
I get embarrassed a lot just being in front of people.
I know.
It's not.
I'm sorry.
Why would you say it like that?
I meant like I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
It was an apologetic.
I don't think it was. I don't believe it. Sometimes I don't know how to be in front of people, and I'm not trying to be in front of people. It's just because of what I do. I just end up in front of people, and I don't know what to say, and I'm trying to be more comfortable with it. So it's just, okay, I know. It's like, I hate the way I look when I sing. Because it's
really?
Weird. Yes. It's just like, all these facial, I can't stand the way my face looks.
Yeah, but you don't make those sounds when you sing.
But I don't like the way I look, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about my face and my shape of my mouth. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I think you look great when you sing. Yeah, just own it. Own it.
We are segueing into a question.
A question.
Embarrassment and or shame. Same thing, different thing. What do you think?
Oh.
We already talked about it, so I know your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm acting. I don't act very well, so this was my best attempt.
And I'm sure anything we say, I'm sure we've learned it from like
other people.
Brene Brown talks a lot about
shame. If we say
shame,
we have to. I
know Brene Brown is the So if there's anything that we say that sounds like it makes good sense, it's probably from her.
Brene Brown. There's a. I do think there's a difference.
Well, so do I.
But I think that there's a difference between. I think you can be tempted towards shame if you get embarrassed.
Oh, totally. Like most of the time.
It's a doorway to that.
Shame would be like, I'm worthless, or I'm stupid, or I'm.
It's that feeling of being. Okay, I was worried I didn't hit record. It's that feeling.
Don't be embarrassed.
Not of feeling like you don't belong in society because you did this thing or because you are this thing.
Oh yeah. Do you know my brain?
Well, that's how I feel like when I get embarrassed.
Hey, we're both in therapy now. Good thing.
I know. Oh yeah, I forgot to share about that.
Yeah, you're in therapy now. You have a therapist now. Woo woo.
Woohoo! I have cats in therapy. I mean, I'm bordering on the ideal life.
What more could one want?
Yeah, I think that it's almost like a magnetic pull. Once you get embarrassed, because embarrassment often triggers like things that have happened in the past, right?
Totally.
I'm guessing. So then you're like, oh, and then if you dwell on it too much, it can become, a complex. That's what I think. What did you think?
I thought the exact same thing.
We were on the same page.
Well, yeah. And I think I'm trying to learn that if I get embarrassed, like I screw up, I hate, when I screw up chords, it's just like playing guitar. It just, I get so embarrassed.
But you do so good on it.
I'm sitting next to El Genioso Guitaro. That's like if I played cello and then Yo-Yo Ma was like, you do great. You're like, thank you for the kindness.
I never thought I'd be compared to Yo-Yo Ma, but
well,
thanks.
You're welcome. No courtesy laugh here given. So there's just certain things so I'm trying to just like, you know what, this moment, this happened, this is like not trace it all the way back to all of the past and all of the future and all the identity, like, oh, that sucked that I screwed that up.
Yeah. So do you tie embarrassment to your performance and creativity?
Totally.
Okay. Is there any way that it takes place outside of those two things? Like how you perform or what you make?
I mean, is it more than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I forget, I don't know anything. I forget someone's name or like, I think depending on how you in general feel about yourself, can affect everything and anything.
That's very true.
If I'm tired, if I'm hungry, if I haven't really spent some quiet time with God, any of those things, if those aren't right, I can affect everything. But it's all related, man. It's the art of being human.
So how does embarrassment then affect your creativity?
Well, let's talk about the bad way first.
Bad way first.
Bad way first would be that I suck. I never am going to be good at this. What am I thinking? I suck. I should never do this again. I suck.
I feel like I hear that often.
Yeah, I know you do. However, creativity, like being embarrassed, can be a great way to be creative. Jim Gaffigan, for example, spent his whole comedic career making fun of himself.
It's true.
So, I think as much laughter at yourself as much that I can find, life is really funny. And sharing when you screw up with other people, then it creates a bond with other people because then we realize, oh, we're all humans and we all screw up.
Well, and that's what I tell people who are like, how do you get comfortable playing in front of people? And I'm sure I've said this on this show multiple times, is that you screw up in front of a bunch of people.
A lot.
And if that doesn't destroy you, you will get to the place where you're okay with it.
I think you have to love what you're doing more than not being embarrassed.
Reputation.
Exactly, yeah. Which is really hard to do.
It's extremely true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying not to this topic makes my brain go all over the place.
Oh, hey. Center. Embarrassed. Creativity.
Yeah. So for me, from a negative perspective, like if I'm getting a ton of feedback on my voice, or if, someone is pointing out something I do, like
me.
No, you're not the only, or like, so, I will, sometimes that kind of feedback, while I need it, if I feel shame over it, then it cripples me and I do worse.
So how do you suggest that someone provide, like if something needs to be critiqued or given feedback?
Well, this is the good side of embarrassment. I need to get over it. I mean, first
okay.
of all,
I'm
not telling you to get over it.
I'm
telling myself to get over it because some of that is ego. Some of that is previous bad experiences playing music. At least my own experience of that, of embarrassment. But embarrassment can be a good thing because embarrassment is a form of pain, right?
Yes.
And when you burn your hand on the oven, what does it teach you not to do?
Probably not touch it without
without
a pot
you
handle.
learn.
What do you call them? You call them hot hands.
I call them hot hands. I don't know what the technical term is.
I call them pot holders,
but it can help me learn to be more intentional next time, be more careful next time. Because there's some things that, sometimes I don't pick up on a social cue. I did this a couple weeks ago. I made a joke at the absolute wrong time, and I got embarrassed by that. See, I'm finding all these other things I get embarrassed by.
You sent an apology message to the group that you were in, like, oh, I realized I made a joke.
That was in poor taste. And no one even gave me the appalled laugh. It was just this.
Hey, and now you've moved on.
But there was like a couple days there where I was like feeling shame over it, but it taught me something. It's like, oh, I need to pay attention to temperature of a room, and
like the not like the physical temperature.
No, but the social temperature.
The social temperature,
which is a very good skill to cultivate.
Is it serious?
Is it serious? Is this the right time? And if I'm uncomfortable with the seriousness, making a joke, which is not always the best thing, and then it's a doorway to, okay, well, why am I uncomfortable with this?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think embarrassment. I don't think you should live in embarrassment. In the same way that you shouldn't live in any negative emotion. You shouldn't live in depression, but it's okay to feel sad. It can be a good teacher.
You said that with a bit of reluctance.
Yeah, I did.
That's all right.
I did.
And
to clarify, I'm not saying that if you feel depressed, you're doing something wrong. That's not what I mean.
Just take Zoloft like me.
But it's like, okay, I can put there's some things I can't chemically help.
Sure.
But there are things that I can do to not.
You're right. To help.
What I have control over.
Yeah. You don't want to just sit in your own pew all the time.
Oh gosh.
So let's talk about some prompts. Related to embarrassment.
All right, here we go. So the prompt is to what? Go embarrass yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Halloween's coming up. I mean, you can dress up. And,
there you go. Why not?
I think that... Okay, one more story before... So I got mildly embarrassed, but it wasn't a bad thing. Oh. So the last time I think I dressed up for Halloween...
Yeah?
I had a really long beard. And I was going to go as Duck Dynasty.
Oh.
And then you dressed up in a very intentional costume. And, you were ready to go. And I put on my costume, which involved my own clothing. And one of the people that we were living with came downstairs. She's like, oh, Heidi, you dressed up. You want this? And she's like, what did you dress up as?
Aren't you going to dress up?
Aren't you going to dress up? And I was like,
I am dressed up.
I am dressed up. Which then was like, oh, I dress like this all the time. So there you go. Anyway. Side story. What are the prompts?
I'm thinking that take an incident that has embarrassed you and create something out of it. You might need to change some of it to make it funny if you didn't feel funny about it at the time. But, do something. Like, what did you learn from it? And what don't, just find the goodness in it. I think that'd be good.
Find the goodness.
Find the goodness.
Yeah,
There's
that's a
gotta be
good one.
some goodness in the middle of all the bad.
That's a good one. Honestly, I think when you are together with people and you're sharing embarrassing stories together.
So have an embarrassing party.
Yeah, an embarrassing party. I think that can bring people together because if you can collectively laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
That's good. And then honestly, just watch Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan's a great person to watch for those stories.
Maybe you watch or listen to some Brene Brown or read some of her books. Definitely maybe want to do some journaling if there's, and maybe go to therapist if you're having.
I was going to say, if you're stuck, go to therapy.
Yeah, sometimes they can help you reframe things that you're stuck in. So,
and this is one thing I want to say to everybody who's a creative: do not let embarrassment and shame rob you of the art that you're created to do. Just don't. If you want to talk with one of us, we're not therapists, but we're happy to encourage you and share all kinds of stories about how we've messed up as artists, but keep going. So anyway, I just want to say that the song that we're going to do, I'm excited about the song that we're going to do. This is, as you know, we've been working on our next full-length album, and this song is one that our band hasn't even played with us yet. Brian has, but it's called Getaway, which is very often what you want to do when you get embarrassed is get away. So anyway, enjoy the song, and we will be back with another episode soon. All right? See you later.
Went down to the docks, gonna buy myself a boat. Bit of money in my pocket, restless in my bones, gotta leave today.
Went down to the docks, looking for a little hope. Upon this sea, the remedy for the sickness in my soul. Sail today. All the ways, wanna get away. Weightless in the sun. All the ways, wanna get away. There's nowhere left to run. Went down to the docks, it's gonna cost just a little more. Dotted lines and unseen vines that trace me back to shore. All the ways, wanna get away. Weightless in the sun. All the ways, wanna get away. Nowhere left to run. All the ways, wanna get away. Weightless in the sun. All the ways, wanna get away. There's nowhere left. don't need a boat to be free. The wind whispered soft to me, you don't need a boat to be free. The wind whispered soft to me, you don't need a boat to be free. No matter where you run, this demon's gonna come. No matter where you hide, they'll be nipping at your side. So stand up, live life, anchored to the ground. Won't you stand up? Live life, anchored to the ground. On the ways, wanna get away. Weightless in the sun. On the ways, wanna get away. Nowhere left to run. On the ways, wanna get away. Weightless in the sun. On the ways,